All right, welcome back. In this lecture video, we continue looking at ratio estimation, and in particular, we're going to be looking at ratio estimation of a population mean. The ratio estimator of mu sub y, based on the estimator k hat and the known value of mu sub x, is given by the following. Mu hat sub y, the estimator of mu sub y, is equal to, by virtue of this proportionality relationship, k hat times mu sub x. Now, because k hat is not a unbiased estimator, mu hat sub y is not an unbiased estimator of mu sub y either. Now, to go beyond point estimation, we need to know something about the variability associated with mu hat sub y, and so that's what we're looking at here. So the estimated variance of the sampling distribution of mu hat sub y, the ratio estimator of mu sub y, is given by the following. And so again, we don't know the exact form for the variance of mu hat sub y, so we have to approximate it. So we've got approximation going on here as well as estimation from the data. So mathematical approximation and statistical estimation from the data. And so the estimated variance of mu hat sub y, which is denoted by sigma hat squared sub mu hat sub y, and also the estimated variance, var with a hat on top, of mu hat sub y. This is equal to cap n minus little n over cap n times 1 over n, 1 over little n, times 1 over little n minus 1 times the sum of the squared differences between the observed y values and the k hat times x sub I values. Now, this also is not an unbiased estimator of the variance of mu hat sub y. Now, once we have this estimated approximate variance, we take its square root to get the estimated approximate standard error associated with mu hat sub y. And so this is just the square root of that quantity up there. Once we have the estimated standard error of mu hat sub y, we multiply it by 2 to get our approximate 95% margin of error associated with mu hat sub y. And again, this would be the estimated approximate 95% margin of error. And so it's equal to 2 times the square root of this quantity here. And again, we've got this term, this factor out here at the very end of it, the sum of the squared differences between y sub I and k hat times x sub I. And we can use that expansion formula to get that when we actually have data to plug in. Now, once we have the point estimate for mu y, so mu hat sub y, the ratio estimator of mu sub y, and also its approximate 95% margin of error, we can construct an approximate 95% confidence interval estimate of mu sub y in the usual way. We start off with our point estimator, mu hat sub y, and then we go a distance to the left and to the right equal to the approximate 95% margin of error, and that gives us then our lower and upper endpoints for the interval. All right, so let's look at an application of this. This is example 2, ratio estimation of mu sub y. A company wishes to estimate the average amount of money, mu sub y, to be paid to employees for medical expenses during the first 3 months of the current calendar year. Average quarterly reports are available in the fiscal reports of the previous year. A random sample of 100 employee records is taken from the population of 1,000 employees. The sample results are summarized on the following slide. Use the data to compute a ratio estimator of mu sub y. Compute the margin of error associated with the estimator, and also construct an approximate 95% confidence interval estimate for mu sub y. Okay, so we have summary statistics here. We don't have all the data, but we don't need it. All we need are the summary statistics. And so we have the sample total for the current quarter. All right, so we have sample information from the current quarter, and based on that information, we have the sum of the y values from that sample equal to 1750. Now remember, this is paired data. We have x's and we have y's. All right, and so the sum of the y values from that sample is 1750. The sample total for the corresponding quarter of the previous year, so we've got a sample of employees. Each one has an x value and a y value. The y value being from the current quarter this year, the x value being from the corresponding quarter last year. And so if we sum up the values of x for the sample, we get 1200. And then finally, the population total, tau sub x, for the corresponding quarter of the previous year is equal to 12,500. Now we can use that to come up with the value for mu sub x. Now some additional summary statistics. The sum of the squared y values, the uncorrected sum of squares of the y values is 31,650. The uncorrected sum of squares for the x values is 15,620. And then finally, the sum of the products of the x's times the y's is 22,059.35. Okay, so cap n, the population size, is 1,000. Little n, the sample size, is 100. We're told that tau sub x, the total from the previous year, is 12,500. We can use that to get the actual value of mu sub x. That would be known at this point. At this point this year, we would know what happened last year. So this is a perfectly reasonable, or it's a situation where it's reasonable to assume that we would know what the population mean is, the total and the mean from the previous year. And so we know that since tau sub x is equal to 12,500 and that there are 1,000 people in the company, then mu sub x must be equal to 12.5. And so based on that, and then we also need to estimate k, all right, and we do that with k hat. K hat is equal to the sum of the y values divided by the sum of the x values. All right, and so when we utilize this expression to obtain the estimate of mu sub y, we take k hat, 1750 over 1200, multiply that against mu sub x, which is known to be 12.5, and we get a point estimate value of 18.23. And that 18.23 represents our estimate as to the average amount of money that will be spent in the first quarter per employee for medical issues. All right, next we want to calculate the estimated variance and the estimated standard error of mu hat sub y. To do that, we'll need the sum of squared differences between the y sub I values and the k hat times x sub I values. And again, we're not going to calculate that using this formula. We're going to use the decomposition formula or the expansion formula, however you want to think about it. We're expanding that. All right, and so when we plug in the appropriate summary statistics and the estimate k hat here, keep in mind that we've got to square k hat there, and then over here we've got 2 times k hat. So when we do that, we get a value of 529.8472, where the 2 is repeating. So it's repeating decimal. All right, and then we plug that into this expression here at the very tail end. It's a multiplicative factor. All right, and so let's see here. We have the estimated variance of mu hat sub y being equal to 0.04817. So that's the estimated approximate variance of mu hat sub y. We take the square root of that to get the estimated approximate standard error of mu hat sub y, and that turns out to be 0.2195 to 4 decimal places. We multiply that by 2 to get the estimated approximate 95% margin of error associated with mu hat sub y, and so that turns out to be 0.4389. And then once we have that, we subtract that from our point estimate, 18.23, to get our lower confidence limit, and we add that margin of error to the 18.23 to get the upper confidence limit. And so we can say that we are approximately 95% confident that the average amount of money that the company will be spending per employee on medical expenses for the first quarter of this year will be somewhere between 17.79 and 18.67. And again, I just want to reiterate that when we say 95%, when we say we're 95% confident, that's approximate, right? So we're approximately 95% confident that the mean of y will be somewhere between 17.79 and 18.67.